Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today we'll learn about Sybase ASE architecture. So before going to the class, I request everyone to please subscribe to my channel and like the video, so it will help me to motivate and do more this kind of videos. This is my second video I'm doing it, and so I request please subscribe it. So last class we talked about Sybase history and details. So today's class will talk about the architecture. So let's going to the architecture and learn. So here in this slide you're able to see this is the ASE architecture diagram. So maybe you will see here 15.7 version, but it will be remain same for all the ASE major versions. So this is mainly architecture diagram is divided into 5 parts. This is only for our understanding purpose. We are dividing into 5 parts. So that is ASE executable files. First one, second is ASE internal threads. Third one is system database, and fourth one is the backup server, and fifth one is the shared memory. So let's talk about each section in detail. What exactly these each section will talk about. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about first section ASE executable files. So these files are further divided into 4 types again. One is run server file, and second one is interface file, third one is configuration file, and fourth one is error log file. So the file is, let's talk about run server file. This file is used to start up the data server. So data server is storing the data into the form of pages. The pages size should be in the format of 2K, 4K, 8K, and 16K. So the default pages is in the ASE is 4K. And also it is having the details of error log file, interface file, configuration file. So also I would like to explain. So ASE is having the 2 servers. As already explained in the previous class, one is data server, one is backup server, right? So each server is having the one run server file. So data server is having one run server file. Backup server also having the run server file. 2 run servers are used to start up the respected servers like data server and backup server. Okay. And next one is the interface file. This file is used to communicate with the software or application installed in the host. So interface file having the all the communication details. So this is the important one, because whenever application wants to communicate with the database, so the interface file we should properly maintain the port numbers. Okay. And third one is the configuration file. All the configuration parameters details are stored in the configuration file. Error log file. This file having the log details of the server, startup and shutdown details. So even the database is reported any errors. So all the errors are reporting into the log files. So it will help DBA to investigate and troubleshoot the issues. Okay. So next section will be ASE internal threads. So ASE is having multiple internal threads if you see here. So these threads we are not going to manage from our end, like user is no need to manage anything here. The ASE will take care of internally. So let's talk about each one. So first one is a port manager. This is used to allocate the port to the users. Network handler, second one. This thread is used to handle the network issues or connections. Third one is the HK course, so housekeeping. So this thread is handle the detached transactions. So what is detached transaction means? Whenever we're working on the table, the process is finished, the execution is finished, but the log is not releasing on the table. So this type of transactions are called the detached transactions. So this will handle by the HK course. HK wash. Modified or committed data will call dirty buffer. So this type of data, so HK will take and send to the disk. HKGC. means a garbage collector. So in the log cache, if there is any deleted data is available, so this HKGC will take it and remove it permanently. Checkpoint worker. This thread is active when server is getting shut down, and it will check the log cache. If there are any committed data or passing data is available, it will flushes to the disk. Sorry. So next one is the checkpoint sleep. This thread will activate every 60 seconds and check the data server consistency. Next one is the deadlock tune. So it will work on deadlock situations and improve the performance of the system. Next is mirror handler. So it is very useful whenever we lose the data, we can retrieve the data from the mirror disk. It is the logical data represent of the actual disk. So this is about internal threads. So next one is the databases. So here we'll talk about the system database. So every data server having the following system databases. So first one is the master database. So this DB is having the system tables and other database details, including the user databases. Model DB, next one. It is a template DB. So this DB will create each time whenever the user creates the new database. So any copy the data to the model DB to establish the default objects, store procedures and tables. Third one is subsystem DB. So it will be used for the replication purpose. Next is subsystem procs. This DB is used to store the data of system stored procedures. Next is SIP security database. This database will use for the audit purpose. Temp DB. For every user having the temp DB to allocate temporary working area. So before going and sitting under the actual days, so while you are executing, so temporary working area will be allocated from the temporary DB for every user. So every time we restart the server, the temp DB will start from scratch. So it will create a newly every time whenever you restart the server. Additional temp DB. This is the additional feature of ASA. So whenever the system is hung state or unable to log in, we will create additional temp DB to access the server and check what the system causing it hang. So during this situation, like whenever the database is in hang and your user is unable to log into the system, so this time the additional temp DB will be benefit for us. So we need to create additional temp DB and bind one login to that particular temp DB. So whenever the issues happen, so we can use this login and we can check what is happening in the system and try to rectify the issue. Next one is the DBCC DB. This DB is used to check the database consistency check. The last one is the user database, where the actual data will be resides in this user databases. So these DBs are built on separate data and separate devices. So multiple users can share this database. So this is for the system database. So next section we'll talk about the backup server. So backup is very important for every database, right? So it is internally communicate with the data server. It will be responsible for database loading and database backup. Fifth one is the shared memory. In OS level, the amount of memory dedicated to the ASE is called max memory or shared memory. In ASE, memory is allocated in the form of cache. Shared memory is having the four components again. The procedure cache. First one is, this is the main working memory of ASE. So it is used for query compilation, work tables and query plans. It is also used for the store procedures, SQL commands, triggers, views, etc. Okay. The next one is the statement cache. So it is also part of the procedure cache. So whenever it is used for the query plans, it is used to store the query plan. So if you execute the same query plan, so it will not recompile again. So it will directly represent the data, like it will get the data from the disk. So it will reduce the amount of execution time, right? So it will speed up the process. Next one is the default data cache. This cache having the recently used data. So this is also further divided into two types. Okay, LRU and MRU, most recently used data and least recently used data. The fourth one is the log cache. This cache having the data of DML operation, like if you do delete, update, modify, whatever you perform, that kind of data will be in the log cache. And also every transaction we have done, all the information is stored in the log cache. Yes, this is for the today's class about ASE architecture. Hope you understand and it will be useful for you. And once again, I request please like and share my video. And thank you for watching.